Hello everyone, I hope you're sitting comfortable in your warm homes. Welcome to our panel discussion tonight. Tonight we are going to talk about Mr. DARP. You haven't heard about Mr. DARP? Well, Mr. DARP came to our church about 8 years ago. And when he came to our church, things started to get changed. People started to be happier. We could see that there was more fun. There was a good atmosphere in our church, and even our lunches started to get changed. And so, if you don't know Mr. DARP, this is the place to be. He's the mystery character that we are going to talk about tonight. So I would like to invite our panel for tonight. Welcome Sylvia, welcome Andrea, and welcome Alan.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on the panel tonight. So we have a very interesting topic that is Mr. DARP. Anyway, how was your week under lockdown? Sylvia, I'm not talking to you. How is everyone else except Sylvia?
Lucky Sylvia.
Lucky Sylvia. Yes,
I think I should tell people I'm actually in Canberra. That's the reason why they're excluding me, because I haven't really had a lockdown. I've just had the freedom to do whatever it is, but I do feel for all of you there.
Yes. We wanted to be in Canberra with you for sure. Yeah.
There are some downsides. It's -6. It's very cold here. So it's either being isolated or being frozen.
Take your pick.
I'd rather be
either way, you have to stay indoors and warm yourself inside.
Yeah, just I wanted to check in a little bit with you. How is everyone going? How's the lockdown this week?
Not too bad, praise God. Yes, we're managing and trying to keep afloat and do the right thing and keep active, keep engaged and involved, and do the best we can. I think we will maybe touching on that later, but it's something that we talk about: stress without being distress.
Yes. Andrea, how about you? Except the fact that your dad stressed you quite a bit.
Well, no, it's been good. It's been good. I'm blessed to still be working, so I am an essential worker, so I can leave the house, which I see it as a blessing. It's been good. I think there is a big difference between this lockdown and the previous lockdowns, and I think it's the way I've been looking at it. So I think DARP has actually helped a lot with that.
Wow. Okay, so you said DARP. So what is this DARP? Sylvia, would you like to tell us a little bit, what is it?
So Mr. DARP is Mr. Depression Anxiety Recovery Program. It's a program that, like what Michael said at the very start, we had the program 8 years ago. It was introduced to our church. And I think it couldn't have come at a better time, because this is really something that we'll love to be sharing with everyone as well, and how we've actually approached the principles, I think, of DARP in itself. That's really just in a nutshell.
Okay, so where is it done? Is it done in the hospital, or is it hard to access it? Where does it take place? Alan?
Well, it's a community-based program, we call it. It's based within the community, so you don't have to sign in and sign out and go somewhere. But we run it we've been blessed. We've had support. We've recently been running it from school, within the school facility. We've even had support from the local council to offer us the facilities for free to run the program. It's a very well-recognized program, which has been very, very successful. But maybe we can talk a little bit later about the origin, where it started. But we got it here about a year ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it
yes. So
started long before. Yeah.
tell us where the program comes from and how.
Well, yeah, Dr. Neil Nedley is the author of the program. He's an internal medicine medical doctor, and specializing in internal medicine. And in his work, he thought he was coming across a lot of patients where he wanted to get to the root of the cause of their problem. And what he discovered is a large majority of those patients were coming to him with internal complication problem, but the root of it was a mental health issue. It was depression, anxiety that was causing this. And he wanted to know more about this and how to help those patients and how to rectify the problem and find the appropriate treatment for them. Because unless we go to the root of the problem, we're just putting bandage on the problem.
Yes.
And so that's what he did. And so he went and did a lot of research and dig into it a lot more, and started putting together after consultation with top psychiatrists and psychologists and all people in the medical in the field. And he put together this program, and he started running this at Loma Linda, Weimar Institute in the States. It was an internal program. It was a residential program, I should say. He's still running the residential program, but he felt that people were not everyone would be able to come to this program, and it restricts the number of people that can participate and benefit from it. And so he developed from there the community-based program, which we have adopted and been running now for, as Sylvia said, for a few years, 8-9 years. We've been running it here at Casey.
Yeah, good, fantastic. So as far as I know, he discovered by studying all the literature related to depression and anxiety, he discovered kind of 100 causes. Yeah, Sylvia, do you want to talk a little bit on this?
Yeah, so he discovered well over 100 causes, but he classified the causes into 10 hits, literally, and all it takes, I think, for somebody to actually be classified as having a major depression is if you've got 5 hits. So hits are like, genetic development, and you might not be able to do any of that, but the remaining 8 hits are really to do with lifestyle interventions, things that we ourselves can actually control. So even if you had a genetic hit, for depression, through proper lifestyle intervention and care, you can actually have a really fulfilling life. So that was really basically what he was, his research was actually portraying.
Yeah, and I think that is amazing because we hear on TV this all the time. If it is in your genes, there's nothing you can do about it, and we are bombarded with this idea, and it's quite revolutionary when Dr. Neil Nedley comes and says, "Okay, wait a second, it's not exactly as you hear." So you have a genetic hit, but actually you need to have 3, 4, 5 in order to classify for depression and anxiety. So if you have only one, but you don't have the other hits, actually depression, you don't have any problem with depression. Alan, I saw your hand up.
Yeah, I think I like, there's another doctor who put it nicely. He says the genetic hit, the genetic component that we receive from our parents, our ancestors, is like a loaded gun given to us, but someone has to pull the trigger. It does not automatically means that because we've got the gene, it has to be activated. And a lot of that is activated through our lifestyle, as Sylvia mentioned.
Okay, good, fantastic. Yeah, so I think it was something connected to September 11. As I remember, this program somehow had to do with this. Anyone would like to help me with that?
Yeah, Alan, you can go.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, he started developing this before the 9/11 program, and he was working on this, and he just happened to release his book, his documentation, just prior to, I think, a week before 9/11, and he became well known in supporting people managing depression and anxiety, especially with post-traumatic incident and things like that. So he was called upon to come and to supervise and to offer support to the victims of the 9/11 victims by the American government, you know. And he was there involved, and his program was utilized to try and support these people to manage these stress, and how to cope with this enormous loss. Many of them had lost close relatives, you know, and when a great deal of grief reaction and things like that. So he was he's very well known and very well recognized. He's of high repute and well respected in the academic field in the area, and he's published many books. And as well as this program that he has developed. And we are trained facilitators, and to be able to run, you have to be accredited by him. He personally trained people to be able to run the program for him, and so to be accredited by his organization there. And we were fortunate to be trained by him over in New South Wales, in Avondale, a few years back when we went there. And so, but since then we are training a lot of people nowadays, training people to pass on the baton, to be able to continue, because there's a great demand for this program now. And I think the government currently is struggling to manage to see they're putting money by the millions into mental health, because it is such a big issue for the country at the moment. And the pandemic hasn't helped, you know. It's made that situation even worse, and we hear so much on the media daily of domestic violence, of alcoholism, of all kind of different issues following the stress of the pandemic, the lockdown, and all the things that's happening. So the demand is increasing.
Yeah, and I was just going to sort of add as well, you know, back to the 9/11, where Dr. Nedley actually appeared, you know, and he applied the principles. So if we actually look at ourselves and what we're actually going through, you know, with this pandemic, whether it be the loss of job or whatever it is, or isolation, or, you know, or the stress levels, you know, the tools in which he has actually provided in his community-based program can be actually utilized as well. I mean, you know, some of the stats I know from the US in Dr. Nedley's recent Nedley Health Solutions newsletter had said that the COVID pandemic in itself had actually, you know, tripled the amount of depression within the US, you know, and I'm sure we're seeing it here too. I mean, Andrea, you know, in your line and in your field as well, you know, what are the things that we're actually noticing? Yeah,
that's been a huge rise in the prevalence of depression and anxiety. The isolation that came with the pandemic was quite hard for a lot of families. There were very, very high rates of domestic violence. And now that we are kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, we're seeing the ramifications that occurred during that time that we were all in lockdown. So now we're seeing the consequences of that. And the consequences are that we have a very, very high number of people suffering with depression that prior to the lockdown, they may not have. So they may have managed it through work, through interactions with their family or their peers, and they were managing it where they were able to interact with others and it wasn't impacting their lives. When they went into lockdown, it was extremely difficult when their, you know, coping mechanisms may not have been healthy ones. So now we're seeing a lot later the effects that that's having. So we have a lot of people presenting with depression, and a lot of children presenting with very high levels of anxiety. So a lot of children that did homeschooling for quite a while and now have gone back to school. We have, you know, children as young as 10, 9, 8 that are presenting with high levels of anxiety. So it's just accelerated the level of depression, anxiety in the community, just crazy amounts.
Wow. Wow. Now, I know in Australia there are three things or about there that you never ask. You never ask what is the political party that you are with. You never ask what is the AFL team, and you never ask how much is your pay check. Okay, let me ask you the third question. How much do you get personally from running this program?
Oh, running the program or participating in the program. I think
No, you're running the program as facilitators, associate directors. You're running the program. How much do you get from that? Come on.
Are you talking financially, or are you talking
or the
reward?
satisfaction of
Yes,
seeing
that's
lives
right.
change?
Look, let's talk financially first, and then we'll talk about the satisfaction.
Zero.
Nothing.
Wow.
We're all
We are
volunteers.
all volunteers. We are
So what
trained
is
and
the
we are all
satisfaction then?
volunteers. We run this program because we are passionate to make a difference. We want to make a difference, and we have seen the efficacy of this program. We have witnessed it, we have experienced it, and we want to pass it on. We want to make a difference. If I may indulge, I, as a psychiatric nurse, trained mental health nurse, practicing for over 40 years, this program is so different. Over the years, I have been accustomed to people coming in with mental health problem, talking to their psychiatrist and expecting some pills to be given to them to fix their problem.
Wow.
You know, this program is an educational program. It is an empowerment program by educating the individual with scientific, factual, evidence-based information that will empower them. We talk about knowledge is power. And this is exactly what this program is. It is based on an adult learning model, and it is evidence-based, giving people the information. Over 8 sessions we run in that program, and over those 8 sessions we covers from the brain, how it functions, how it operates, what part is responsible for what, and it goes into some very great details with a lot of material given, like the book here, Depression: The Way Out. Quite a lot of material handed over for people to read, to study, to learn, to empower, and the knowledge is free them, releases them from the bondage of their lifestyle that they've been accustomed to, that may have contributed a lot to their situation. And that's the root, the basis of the program, and that's what's powerful about it. And as people take on board this program and apply it in their life, they see the changes.
Yes.
And the changes that happen is within 8 weeks. Before they start, we do a full test.
Wait a
All right,
second.
I don't want to jump ahead too much, all right?
Wait a second. So, Andrea, I have a question for you.
I'm on a train.
Andrea, I have a question for you. What made you become part of this program?
Do you want the truth, or do you want
The truth.
Nothing but.
Well, I say my story started 8 years ago when Mum and Dad started doing the program, and year after year I would get, come on, join the program, just come see what it's about. And my background is psychology, so I was like, there's nothing that this program can teach me that I haven't already done. That, I'm very into wellness. I've done modules after modules about well-being. I have textbooks and books, and I was very into wellness. And actually, Sylvia, you were the one that reached out, and you sent me a message and you said, hey, do you want to train as a facilitator? So I was like, oh, okay, I maybe do. Maybe it's the right time. And at that point in time, I think we were, was it like just before the second lockdown, or we were just coming into that second lockdown, which for me was the most difficult lockdown that probably one of the most difficult things I've ever experienced in my life. And I think it was the perfect kind of place it was the perfect time to do the program, because I was so desperate for something to change in my life that I gave this program 100%. And if you give 100%, you will get 100% back. So for me, the program changed my life in a way that I can't even begin to explain. And it was a change that took 8 weeks, and then it continued, and then it just kept snowballing, and I just kept changing. And now I look back from how I was 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, and I can't recognize some of the things back then of myself. And for me, the passion comes from the fact that it changed my life, and that when we do the program, we see the change that happens in other people's lives, and it's undeniable. You can't sit there and be like, oh, well, it's just, you're just teaching them tools and it's not really giving them too much. Well, talk to the people who've gone through the program and see how they think about it. Yes, Sylvia, I saw your hand.
Yeah, I was just actually going to add, when we start out with it, like when you started out with it as well, Andrea, you didn't think that you were depressed, and you don't have to be depressed to do this. Actually, the module in itself actually enhances the frontal lobe. So if you talk about any ordinary people, like for me, when I did it and I volunteered into it, I didn't think I was depressed. I mean, I'm not depressed, but I found that I've gained so much from it. And even now, being 700 kilometers away from my church and my family and all that, and being sort of in some sense isolated, because you can have people around you, but unless you actually form a relationship, you're still really not, connected. I've actually used that tool again and again. The depression and anxiety recovery program tools again and again to try and lift me up from whatever it is, so I think this is the beauty about the program. A lot of people think that to do this, you have to be depressed, or you have to be anxious, to gain the full maximum out of it, but it's not. It's for ordinary people like you and myself, and that we still gain a lot out of it. So I think this is really the beauty, Yeah.
So as far as I know, thank you, Andrea, so much for to sharing with us. As far as I know, there's a test in the beginning and there's a test at the end. So we need to measure exactly what happened with that individual that came to the program, to the community educational program, and we can measure how the person came in and how the person came out. So what do we see when we read all these statistics? Alan, what do you see when we look at these statistics?
Well, we start with, as you said, the baseline before they start, and within 8 weeks, the test is repeated, and significant improvement in mental health is noticed. Decrease in depression, anxiety is reduced, improvement, and Sylvia mentioned improvement in EQ, emotional intelligence, improvement there. And the reality is most, if not all, the antidepressant, anti-anxiety medication takes a lot longer than 8 weeks to work to see result.
Yeah, if I may
and
also
yet
add,
in 8 weeks in this program, people are seeing results.
Yeah, actually, if I may also add, while the program is actually, the educational part is actually 8 weeks, it's actually a 20-week program. So it takes longer than the 8 weeks. 8 weeks, the tools are imparted onto you. You go through a whole series, but you are actually still supported until 20 weeks, because as it doesn't, it takes more than 8 weeks for change to actually happen.
That's right. Yeah. That's the adult learning to make significant life-changing change in our lifestyle. We need that period of time and that environment, that support, and that's recognized scientifically. So
Alan, Sylvia, Andrea, we just finished another depression anxiety recovery program. And I think we have
Yes.
someone in the green room waiting to tell us what she has experienced. So, Alan, do you want to invite our special
Yes, I'd
guest
like to
in the
invite
studio?
Gilbert. Gilbert is one of our latest participants. Welcome,
Hi.
Gilbert. Hi,
Hi.
welcome. So Gilbert joined us just over 8 weeks ago into the program and has just finished our last session last week. And
Yes.
I understand you are keen to share with us your experience. Gilbert, do you want to tell us what happened?
Yes. I'm free.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Congratulations.
This program, this DARP is a lifesaver for me. Yeah, that's why last time I was saying at the church, I was cheating with my husband with DARP. So yes,
Mr.
DARP is
Mr.
a
Darp.
Mr. DARP.
It raised a
Yeah,
few eyebrows
I
in the
will.
church, I tell you.
I will leave my husband. I will leave my husband for Mr. Darp. I will give my time for Mr. Darp. So yes, Darp really changed my life. Darp was a really lifesaver for me because I was at church, but I was sick. I was very sick in my head. Um, I was sleeping all day. I took a week off from work, doing nothing because I was depressed and I didn't know that I was going through depression. And when I went to my doctor, he said to me, you stress too much. I have to put you on antidepressant. He put me on Minax. So Minax put me to sleep all day. And as a mom, as a wife, I didn't want to do anything, even to talk to my husband, because when I was on that Minax, I was sleeping. I was tired. Like at night time, I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't want to, and then it was creating like a fight in the house, and Billy didn't know what I was going through. And when he talked to me, I was crying. Everything that he tells me, I will cry. Or even if someone tells me something, I will cry. So, and then he said to me, okay, when Andrea went up there at the church to promote that DAP. So, and then Billy said to me, Gilbert, I think you need to go in there. I said, no. I said to him, I know I'm not depressed. I don't want to go in that. What is DAP? So, and then he said, no, I will put your name in there, and I will go with you to help you. So, and then thank God I have a good husband. He gave me a good husband. So he helped me through that. He came with me every Tuesday to go in the program, and that helped me. The beginning, the first day that I went into job, the first Tuesday, I felt a change. I said, God, thank you for that program.
Wow.
So everything that Dr. Nedley said on that program, I put it in practice. I did it, and I'm loving it.
Wow.
I'm
Even the
still
contrast
doing
shower, the cold shower.
even the contrast shower. The contrast shower is getting harder and harder, but we take it positive. I said, like a medicine, that is not good in your mouth, but because it will help me to heal me, I will drink it. So it's the same as contrast shower. I know when I go, I said, I will go to shower, but with that cold water on my body, but I know that will help me. So I do my contrast shower every day. I don't quit on my contrast shower. I do it every day. And I don't skip it, because if I skip, I said, if you don't use it, you will lose it. So I do it every day. I don't skip my contrast shower.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Well
And
done.
another thing
Well
is,
done, Gilbert.
I used to go to my doctor every week. Like I will keep on telling that. When I started DARP, I stopped going to my doctor till
Wow.
now, till today.
Now,
So
let me just highlight this. We didn't tell you not to go to the doctor. Okay, that was,
no,
you didn't feel the need to go to your doctor.
no,
Correct.
Okay, and the depression recovery program, we advise all participants to work together with their doctor, to inform the doctor, and if they are on any treatment, on any medication, not to change it suddenly, but to
yeah,
let the doctor know what they're doing. And as the improvement goes on in their mental health, the doctor will be able, some medication needs to be reduced gradually, some medication can be stopped straight away. So that's
yeah,
something that you need to work with your own doctor and the guidance of the doctor in collaboration there. But
yeah,
obviously, you didn't feel you needed the consultation, the visit to the doctor, to the point I understand you told me the doctor was calling you to say, what's happening? You haven't been in touch.
yes, yes. Because every week I was sick, and myself, I didn't know what's going on with me. Even my toenails was sick one day, and I
Oh
said,
no.
God, what's happening with me? Because I can't be sick like that. My family, my husband, we said, wow, there's something wrong, and but that was there, and because of what I was watching, what I was eating, I wasn't doing exercises. It was putting a toll on my body,
Mhm, mhm.
and DARP helped me to learn all those things and change the nutrition, what I was eating, and slowly, gradually drink lots of water, and help my frontal lobe with the nice classical music instead of listening to some sort of music on. But this is helping me a lot. Until today,
Mm,
I'm living a happy life because I wasn't happy myself in my body. So now
Wow.
I'm living a happy life.
Wow. Wow.
I praise God
Congratulations.
for that.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
yeah.
Sorry for that. On the screen, the lady didn't mean 55 minutes. Okay, so this is why I didn't put it on the screen. She meant 55 seconds. Okay, correct. So yeah, thank you very much. That shouldn't have been there. Anyway, thank you so much, Gilbert. Um, yeah,
You're welcome, and
that's
I want to
amazing.
thank
That's amazing
and
for what you're telling us, and yeah, all the best with keep going with what you learn, and your
yes,
life will be amazing. Yeah,
and I want to thank all the participants in, like all the facilitators in DAB, because you are doing, guys, an amazing job. It will help lots of people like living a good life. Yes.
Mm.
wonderful. Yeah, thank you so much, Gilbert.
Thank you for
Have
your
a
You're
good night,
contribution.
welcome.
and thank you
Happy
for
Sabbath.
sharing with us. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Bye
Thank you.
bye. Bye. Okay, good.
That
Yeah,
was
so
wonderful, wasn't it?
yeah.
Mm.
Really
And indeed,
wonderful.
we know Gilbert, and we know that she struggled before, and now to see her like a different person,
Yeah.
uh,
Mm.
it just gives us so
And,
much
And
courage to
yeah,
continue
and
to do this work.
I was going to say, and the other amazing thing is that this is actually not done with any medication. It's actually what's naturally out there. That lifestyle medicine is in itself. It's not popping some pill or whatever it is. It's just changing the way we live, the way
Hmm.
we think. And the way we actually interact. And go out and enjoy nature and yeah.
Yes, yes,
yeah, you
absolutely.
asked the question earlier, Michael, about what's in it for us. How much do we get into for doing this
Mm,
program? And I think Gilbert gave you the answer. When we see
Correct.
result like this, when we
That's
see
it.
the changes it's making in people's life, this is what motivates us and pushes us to continue to run this program year after year after year.
And it's not only one person, but the whole family is impacted. And then Gilbert told us when she goes to work, the feedback that she receives from the other workmates. And yeah, so it goes around in circles, blessing other people by the change that takes place in you. Yeah,
I wanted
Sylvia?
to also add what Elaine said. It's not what we get back as well, but as volunteers to the program, we're volunteering our time, so it has to be really meaningful in some sense. If not, you won't keep on doing it. And we've been doing this for 8 years now. Sometimes twice in a year we'll do these sessions twice in a year. And for us to keep on going back into it, it just means that we truly believe that it works.
Yes. So when is the next session? No, you said twice a year, so
Twice
we did
a year.
once. Or what is the
September.
when is the
No, I
next?
don't know.
We just finished one. We need a break. Give us a break.
It's very easy for me to say because I'm actually not there, so I can say September. But the team will
But
have to run
seriously,
it.
we are seriously considering that we should be already. We've got people in the line queuing for it, already waiting for us to run the next program, and so we are considering that we probably will need to be running one around September, mid to late September. We should be getting one. So I would encourage anyone who may be interested, for themselves or for anyone, to get in touch with us and let us know on the Facebook or on the YouTube page, on our page there, and contact us and drop us a word, and we'll put you on the waiting list. And when we do finalize the details exactly when, I would encourage you we will be able to then contact you and let you know, and you'll be able to make a decision on it, whether you can come in or not.
So before we start the program, we have an information session that is free like all the other program. We have an information session where we talk again about the details and, the time.
A lot more details before you commit.
Absolutely. Yeah. So there is a cost, but the cost is of the materials, but it's not the cost of running for us. Okay. Now, we are in this lockdown. Okay, except Sylvia. Okay, so Sylvia, this is not for you. How can this program help me and you and all the people that live in Victoria? How can this program help us? Sylvia, you can contribute, okay? Because last year you've been at the lockdown too. Okay.
Yeah, I think yeah. Sorry, you go, Andrea.
I was just going to say, this program, a big component of it is changing the way you think. So for me, I mentioned before the previous lockdowns, they were really hard, but this lockdown, it was extended. We all had that disappointment that came with the extension, and those feelings that come up, and just remembering what happened last year. There's a lot of emotions that run through you. But there was a difference with this one because of the way I viewed it. And it was because my thoughts had been challenged, and all the negative thoughts that I was experiencing in the past, I have been working on challenging them and going through having a more positive mindset. So, it really comes down to what we think, and then what we think influences what we say, and what we think influences how we behave, and how we behave influences our thoughts. So it's really, taking that control over your thoughts and over your actions so that you can take control over your future. So for me, that the component of challenging thoughts really helped.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Andrea, because regardless of whether you're in a lockdown or you're actually miles away, from your family and your church and all that, the only way that you can actually get through any situation, is to think positive. I've actually started again my gratitude journaling. And that's actually looking, it's training myself to see the blessings that I've still got. I may not be with my family, I may not be with the church, but look, we've actually got Zoom and all that we can still remain connected, so that gratitude thinking kind of a thing, actually, when you place that at the forefront of your thinking, you tend to actually now look for the good things actually in your life rather than focusing on the bad things in your life. And I think that's really one of the strongest, way that you can actually approach anything. Aside from that, you do need to look after your health as well, your physical health and your, nutritional health and all that. So there's a whole lot of tools that we can still do. I know that the lockdown is 5K, but if you walk 5K radius all over, you could take in however many steps.
It's there.
10Ks now.
That's even better, but it's just to show you, so you can get out there, you can still do a lot of good positive things.
Yes,
and be
Yeah.
creative, I suppose.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think to add to this, thank you, Sylvia and Andre, you spot on there. It is about our state of mind, how it teaches us how to assess the things that automatically that we may be have been accustomed to, that way of living our life that we don't even aware of, we're not even sensitive to. But when we learn about how they operate and how the frontal lobe operates and how our thinking develops and how we can block those negative thinking and what are the strategies and the tools given to us to be able to develop positive thinking, it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference in our outlook to life. And also by giving the brain the best chance to thrive by feeding it the right nutrients, and
Absolutely.
taking away the toxin that is impeding our normal. And I think he talks about in the art of the loss of art of thinking in his
Lost
book,
art
where
of thinking.
the art of
The lost
thinking.
art.
There, he talk about how we've lost that ability through the pollutions in the air, the pollution of the environment, the food we eat, the contamination and the toxic of food, and eating the wrong stuff. And all that can impede our thinking and cloud our judgment. And but by
I know.
freeing us from that, we are free to make the right choices. Sorry, Sylvia.
Yeah, sorry, Elaine. I didn't want to. I just wanted to catch on to what you were saying as well about nutrition and about food and all that. And I know that Dr. Netley actually emphasizes omega-3 and the flax seeds. Yeah. So if we hike up on that kind of a brain food, it actually gives you a better position as well. Yeah. So until now, you can still go on taking and grinding flax seeds. I don't want to give it too much away because I know that the program is a lot more than just flax seeds.
We don't want to dilute the program.
Yeah, but the thing is, we need to put all these things in the context of a scientific, research and all these things, so people will have a understanding why these things are so important. And I know there is a temptation to start going into details.
I know.
But we don't have the time to go to explain the 8-week program in just a few minutes. So yeah. Any other practical advice for people, for us that are in lockdown? Anything like?
I think summary, we could say, if people can during this lockdown look after themselves in their sleeping, their eating, their hydration, all the naturally available stuff that we have, will go a long way in improving mental health, and a lot of the time, unfortunately, mental health impedes on those things because we're depressed. We're unable to eat properly. We cut corners. We don't eat properly. We don't bother to drink the water that we should be drinking, and we can't sleep. But now we have disturbed sleep and things like that. So it's breaking those cycles, and which comes first, and how to break out of it. And that's the thing that really the depression recovery program is powerful, and allowing and freeing people from those bondage.
Yes.
And if I may also add, it's actually we tend, when we're sort of isolated, we tend to gravitate towards our technologies and mobile phones and things like that, and that actually really impedes on the kind of proper sleep that you can actually get, and I really feel that having that actual, phone conversation rather than the texting, having really strong, meaningful connections, with the family member, because you're all within the same household, or if not, with somebody else via phone rather than the text message, all these little bits kind of help. It really does help.
Yes. And this week was just beautiful. The sunshine was just amazing. Spending some time in the sun and doing some exercise and all these things, just beautiful. Maybe you have noticed I started to increase my collection of leaves. so just looking at things, small things that usually we take for granted, and nobody looks at a leaf, but actually when you look at a leaf and see how the structure, how beautiful it is, so the detailed things of of life that are so important. I think Mr. DARP, the mystery character for tonight, has been revealed. So thank you very much. Thank you very much to all our viewers, and I hope we succeeded to give a little bit of a picture of this program and why we are so excited, and we want to invite people. And usually what happens, our participants become facilitators because they become convinced, and this is what happens with every one of us. We become convinced of the program. We want to be facilitators to help other people to improve their lives. Thank you very much. Have a happy lockdown. Mr. DARP can help you to go through, and may God bless you.
See you all next week.
And thank you so much for being on the panel as well. Okay, I will exit the studio one by one, because I want for a few seconds everyone to see what is behind actually the pictures that we have there. Okay, good night.
Thank you.